Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Tom makes a stunning declaration during a confrontation with Poppy, and Steffy urges Thomas to forget about Hope. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Forrester, Hope asks Steffy how much she really believes in Thomas' new relationship. Steffy doesn't think it's fake. Hope guesses she only cares about pushing her brother toward any woman who isn't her. Steffy tells Hope she's doing what she always does, playing the loving card, just like her mother. She won't let her get into her brother's head. In the design office, Thomas tells Ridge that Hope won't commit to him for the rest of her life. Ridge asks, "So, you're moving on to a woman who will commit?" Thomas says Paris was thrilled when he pulled out that ring. Thomas recaps that Hope's rejection hurt and he didn't know how he'd get past it, but the trip to France was exactly what he needed. It gave him the ability to have space and to cross paths with Paris. Ridge asks how Hope took the engagement. Thomas says she was thrown and upset, which is to be expected. At Bill's place, Luna grills Poppy about keeping quiet about him being her father. She can't help but wonder if there's something else going on that kept her from telling her that Bill could be her father. Poppy expresses regret and Luna decides it doesn't matter anymore. Poppy gushes about how happy it makes her to see her daughter happy and reunited with her father. At El Giardino, Shyla asks Tom if he's excited and wonders if some of his old fans will show up when he plays tonight. Tom definitely wouldn't mind seeing some faces from the past. Deacon teases that he should hire extra security in case women are rushing the stage. Tom chuckles but tells them he was quite a Casanova back in the day. Deacon muses, "Who knows, maybe you'll get lucky tonight." Tom thanks Deacon and hopes he won't disappoint him. "You have no idea what this means to me." Tom scuttles off and Shyla kisses Deacon's cheek. In the design office, Thomas muses, "Maybe I should have told Hope earlier." But he wanted to tell her in person. He tells his father that Hope thought he came back to give their relationship another try. In the main office, Hope insists that anyone who cares about Thomas should be concerned right now. This relationship with Paris is happening way too fast. At Bill's place, Poppy tells Bill it's hard to believe now that she was so afraid of his rejection. "You've welcomed us into our home. You've changed our lives." Bill would like to do more than that. He wants to welcome them into his family. Bill knows they have an intense bond and he respects that, but they can maintain their connection even if they took on another name. He wants Luna to be a Spencer by adopting her and making it official. Poppy gulps, "You would really do that?" Bill wants her to be his daughter in the eyes of the law. Poppy couldn't imagine anything better. "I have never felt more connected or in love with a man." Luna grins as they smooch. Poppy muses, "Oh, Luna Spencer. I like the sound of that." Luna does too. Bill muses about a chance encounter at Il Giardino being so impactful. Poppy glances at the flyer about Tom's show and decides Bill and Luna need some time alone together. She tells her daughter she has the life she deserves and nothing and no one can ever take it from her. With that, she heads out the door. Luna can't believe she's going to be an actual Spencer. Bill tells her if she ever gets tired of making dresses, she'll be welcome at Spencer Publications. Luna tells Bill that she never imagined someone as loving and accepting as him as her father. They embrace. At Il Giardino, Tom thanks Hollis for taking him under his wing. Hollis wants to see him succeed. Deacon appears and says they all do. He offers Tom his apartment to decompress before the show. Tom recaps that he was living on the streets, but he's clean now, has a job, and is proud to be working at Il Giardino. He wants Deacon to know how much he values what's going on here. "I'm going to give it my all up on that stage." Poppy arrives and eavesdrops as Tom goes on about his bright future. He tells Deacon he'll take him up on the apartment offer. "I promise I won't trash it." In the design office, Ridge likes Paris, but he knows Thomas still has feelings for Hope, which is concerning. Thomas says she's a woman who will not commit to him. He wants a family and wishes to give Douglas a brother or sister. Ridge grins as Thomas enthuses that he and Paris are on the same page. Thomas needs to go find Douglas and exits. In the main office, Steffy tells Hope to let Thomas be happy. She couldn't commit to him, so she shouldn't begrudge him finding someone who will. Hope fumes that she couldn't care less if her brother is happy as long as she's not in his life. Thomas enters and Steffy invites him in. "I think you should hear this." In Deacon's apartment, Hunt is strumming his guitar when a knock comes at the door. He calls, "Come on in, boss." Instead, Poppy walks in and informs Tom she's putting him on notice. She didn't appreciate his little trip to the Spencer mansion. Tom snarks, "What? Suddenly, you don't like free pizza?" Poppy wants nothing to do with him. "Stay away from me. Stay away from my daughter." Tom replies, "Our daughter. We both know the truth. Luna's mine. I'm Luna's father." In the main office, Steffy tells Hope and Thomas she won't be putting up with Brooke 2.0. "You are more and more like your mother every day, and it's painful to see because you were the one Logan I thought knew the difference between right and wrong." Brooke ran through their family and now Hope is picking up where she left off. Is she being a little overprotective? Maybe, but it's warranted given her brother's obsession with her in the past. Steffy references all the conversations that she and Thomas had while he was in Paris. Now he's happy. If Hope cares about him at all, she'll leave him alone. Hope insists that all she's done is question whether or not this engagement is right for Thomas. She doesn't understand Steffy's strong reaction. Steffy tells Thomas not to listen to Hope. He's engaged and happy. He should marry Paris and not even think about Hope again. In the swanky Forrester Creations office, the usual hum of the design team was punctuated by the sound of high heels clicking against the marble floor. Steffy Forrester, poised and determined, made her way to the corner office where her brother Thomas was sequestered. The tension in the air was palpable, fueled by the latest upheaval in their tumultuous lives. Thomas sat at his drafting table, sketching furiously. His brows were furrowed and his focus was intense. He was consumed by thoughts of Hope Logan, the woman who had captured his heart and eluded his grasp time and again. His love for her had been an obsession, a driving force behind many of his decisions, both good and bad. But today something was different. Today he had news that would shake the foundation of their world. Steffy knocked gently on the doorframe before stepping inside. "Thomas," she called softly, trying to gauge his mood. "We need to talk." He glanced up, his blue eyes meeting hers. "What is it, Steffy?" he asked, his voice tinged with wariness. She crossed the room, her expression a mix of concern and determination. "It's about Hope," she began, but Thomas cut her off. "Don't, Steffy." "Not now," he said, returning to the sketch. "No, you need to hear this," she insisted. "You've got to let go of her. This obsession is tearing you apart. It's time to move on, for your sake and for everyone else's." Thomas clenched his jaw, the pencil in his hand snapping under the pressure. "You think I don't know that," he snapped. "But it's not that simple." Before Steffy could respond, the door burst open and Poppy, a fiery new intern with a knack for getting involved in Forrester drama, stormed in. Her eyes blazed with determination and her fiery red hair seemed to crackle with energy. "Thomas, we need to talk." Now Poppy demanded, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. Steffy stepped back, startled by the sudden intrusion. "Poppy, this isn't the time," she began, but Poppy waved her off. "No, Steffy, it is the time. Thomas needs to hear this," she said firmly, turning to face him. "Thomas, I've been watching you, and it's clear that you're at a crossroads. You're letting your feelings for Hope destroy you, but you need to know something." Thomas stood up, his curiosity piqued despite himself. "What is it, Poppy?" Poppy took a deep breath, her eyes locking onto his. "I've been in love with you for months," she confessed, her voice unwavering. "And I can't stand by and watch you destroy yourself over a woman who doesn't appreciate you." The room fell silent as her words hung in the air. Thomas stared at her, stunned into silence. Steffy, equally shocked, looked between the two, her mind racing. "Poppy, Thomas began, but she held up a hand to stop him. "No, let me finish," she said. "I know you have feelings for Hope and I respect that. But she doesn't see you the way I do. She doesn't see the man who is passionate, creative, and capable of great love. I do. And I need you to see it too." Steffi watched, her heart itching for her brother. She knew how much he had struggled, how deeply he had been hurt. But Poppy's declaration was a turning point, a moment that could change everything. Thomas ran a hand through his hair, his mind a whirlwind of emotions. "Poppy, I had no idea," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "Of course you didn't," she replied, her eyes softening. "Because you've been too focused on Hope to see what's right in front of you." Steffi stepped forward, placing a hand on her brother's arm. "Thomas, maybe Poppy's right. Maybe it's time to let go of Hope and see what else is out there." Thomas looked between his sister and Poppy, his heart heavy with indecision. He had spent so long chasing a dream, clinging to a love that was always just out of reach. But now, standing before him was someone who saw him for who he truly was, someone who believed in him. "Poppy," he said slowly, "I appreciate your honesty, and I don't want to hurt you. But I need time to process this. To figure out what I really want." Poppy nodded, her expression understanding. "I get it, Thomas. Take all the time you need. Just know that I'm here, and I believe in you." As she turned to leave, Steffi gave her a reassuring smile. "Thank you, Poppy," she said softly. "You've given Thomas a lot to think about." Once they were alone, Steffi turned to her brother. "Thomas, you need to make a decision. You can't keep living in this limbo. It's not fair to you or anyone else." Thomas sighed, the weight of his emotions bearing down on him. "I know, Steffi, I know. But it's not that easy. Nothing worth having ever is," she replied gently. "But you have to start somewhere. Letting go of Hope might be the best thing you can do for yourself." Thomas nodded slowly, his mind racing with possibilities. Maybe it was time to let go of the past and embrace the future.